They say love has no price until it does. Bill Gates' divorce cost $76 billion. Jeff Bezos's? $38 billion. One Russian billionaire wrote a $4.5 billion check, half his fortune. We're talking private islands split in courtrooms, art collections worth more than small nations divided like furniture, and payouts so big they rewrite the record books of wealth. This isn't your average heartbreak story. These are the world's most expensive divorces, where billionaire love meets jaw-dropping settlements. Stay until the end, because one royal breakup didn't just cost $730 million. It exposed espionage, Pegasus spyware, and a court ruling so shocking it shook an entire monarchy. Bill and Melinda Gates, $76 billion. In August 2021, after 27 years of marriage, Bill and Melinda Gates finalized the largest divorce settlement ever recorded, $76 billion. Why so much? Washington State's community property law meant everything. Microsoft stock, Cascade Investments, sprawling estates, was presumed split evenly. This is what Melinda got: roughly $76 billion in assets and stocks, including $6.3 billion in Microsoft shares transferred outright. $12.5 billion earmarked for her independent philanthropy outside their joint foundation. Her personal net worth still sits at $30 billion plus today, even after heavy donations. And let's not forget Xanadu 2.0, their $207 million estate. 66,000 square feet of tech-laden opulence, walls displaying $80,000 screens, an underwater sound system in the pool, and libraries with hidden bookcases. What triggered it all? Melinda described nightmares and anxiety dating back to 2019, culminating in a split where the fortune was divided, but the empire's philanthropy survived intact. If you think $76 billion is wild, Jeff Bezos' split didn't just cost $38 billion. It turned his ex-wife into one of the richest women alive, and she gave it away faster than anyone in history. Jeff Bezos and Mackenzie Scott, $38 billion. When Jeff Bezos and Mackenzie Scott divorced in 2019, she received 4% of Amazon, worth an astounding $38.3 billion, instantly making her one of the richest women on earth. Within a year, Mackenzie pledged to give half her fortune away. And she didn't just talk, she acted. She signed the Giving Pledge, committing to donate at least half her wealth. Since then, she's given away $19 billion plus to over 2,000 nonprofits, funding causes like racial equity, education, and healthcare. Her no-strings donation model shocked philanthropy, granting billions with minimal oversight or bureaucracy. Even after all this, her net worth still sits around $36 billion, shifting with Amazon stock prices. Meanwhile, Bezos retained 75% of their Amazon stake, solidifying his position as one of the world's richest men. Mackenzie's divorce didn't just split wealth, it created the fastest mega-philanthropist in history, redefining how billionaires give back. From amicable tech splits to jaw-dropping drama, one billionaire divorce included $60,000 phone bills, $500,000 wine tabs, and even a judge banning cosmetic surgery. Alec and Jocelyn Wildenstein, $3.8 billion. In 1999, French billionaire art dealer Alec Wildenstein's split from socialite Jocelyn Wildenstein became one of the priciest divorces in history, $3.8 billion. The terms? An immediate $2.5 billion cash payout, followed by $100 million annually for 13 years. One bizarre condition: the judge banned Jocelyn from using any of it on cosmetic surgery. Why? Her infamous feline-like procedures had already earned her the tabloid nickname Catwoman. Post-divorce, Jocelyn's spending was jaw-dropping: $60,000 yearly phone bills, $547,000 on food and wine alone, luxury apartments stacked with haute couture, priceless art, and exotic pets. Yet by 2018, she filed for bankruptcy, claiming zero cash, despite still holding $16 million in assets. By 2020, Her lavish Trump Tower apartments were repossessed. Alec, meanwhile, maintained his fortune through the Wildenstein family's legendary art empire, owners of works by Monet, Van Gogh, and Cézanne, plus elite racehorses and vast estates. You'd think $3.8 billion would last forever, but not in this world. And then came Rupert Murdoch, whose $1.7 billion divorce sparked a dynasty-shaping trust battle. Rupert Murdoch and Anna DePaster, $1.7 billion. In 1999, media baron Rupert Murdoch divorced Anna Torv after 32 years of marriage, resulting in a staggering $1.7 billion settlement, including $110 million in cash. Did you know that at the time it was one of the largest divorce payouts in history? But what's truly fascinating is what followed. Anna used her settlement to help establish the Murdoch Family Trust, securing equal voting rights for their 3 children: Elizabeth, Lachlan, and James, across News Corp and Fox's empire. This wasn't just money, it was strategic legacy planning. Fast forward to 2024, that trust became ground zero for a succession battle. Rupert attempted to rewire its voting rights, aiming to consolidate control with his later children from subsequent marriages. Anna's heirs fought back, blocking him in court and preserving their share of power within the multi-billion-dollar media dynasty. This divorce didn't just split assets, it cemented who controls Fox News, The Wall Street Journal, and Sky Today. It turned a marital split into a decades-long boardroom chess match that still shapes global media. From billion-dollar boardrooms to Formula One racetracks, Bernie Ecclestone's $1.2 billion split flipped the usual divorce dynamic upside down. Bernie Ecclestone and Slavica Radic, $1.2 billion. In 2009, Formula One boss Bernie Ecclestone finalized his divorce from Slavica Radic, and headlines screamed about the $1.2 billion payout. But here's the twist. Years earlier, Bernie had transferred much of his wealth into trusts under Slavica's name to minimize inheritance taxes. So when they split, Slavica technically paid Bernie around $100 million annually, even after receiving her billion-dollar settlement. Her post-divorce lifestyle? Pure luxury. She snapped up prime Chelsea real estate, acquired a private jet, and established a family office, Elm Cove, to manage the vast wealth and billion-dollar trusts for their daughters, Tamara and Petra. By 2020, she ranked among Britain's wealthiest women, proving even divorce couldn't slow this financial empire. But the legal maneuvering was as wild as their spending. Their split blurred the line between tax strategy and marital fallout, creating one of the strangest billionaire divorces ever. If a divorce where the ex pays him still blows your mind, hit like right now, because up next is Harold Hamm's $975 million check. The one his ex refused to cash? Harold Hamm and Sue Ann Arnold. $975 million check. In 2014, oil tycoon Harold Hamm's divorce from Sue Ann Arnold became one of the most contentious billion-dollar splits in U.S. history. The Oklahoma court ordered Hamm to pay roughly $1 billion, and his method of payment stunned the world. A single handwritten check for $974,790,317.77. But here's the twist. Sue Ann refused to cash it. Why? Accepting it risked ending her appeal for a larger share of Hamm's estimated $18 billion fortune, much of which she argued she helped build during their 26-year marriage. For weeks, this standoff dominated headlines. Arnold's bold gamble highlighted her belief that the award undervalued her role, while Hamm fought back, citing Oklahoma law that limited divisions to active contributions, not passive market gains from oil price surges. Finally, under mounting pressure and legal risk, Sue Ann cashed the check in early 2015, effectively ending her claim. The Oklahoma Supreme Court upheld the original ruling, closing the door on one of the most dramatic and unusual divorce settlements ever. Do you think a $975 million check is wild? Wait until you see a royal split that cost $730 million and involved hacked phones, armored convoys, and Britain's biggest family court payout. Tiger Woods and Elin Nordegren, $100 million. Tiger Woods' 2010 divorce from Elin Nordegren was triggered by one of the most infamous scandals in sports history. Following Tiger's public admission of multiple affairs and the now iconic Florida driveway car crash, their split dominated headlines worldwide. While tabloids falsely touted a $710 million payout, credible records confirmed Elin received roughly $100 million, still one of the largest athlete divorce settlements ever. Instead of splurging, Elin rebuilt her life with quiet precision. She purchased a $12 million Florida mansion, which she later demolished and rebuilt to meet hurricane codes, even donating salvaged parts to Habitat for Humanity. She earned a psychology degree in 2014, signaling her focus on personal growth, and prioritized raising their children, Sam and Charlie, away from the spotlight. Remarkably, she and Tiger transitioned into what he now calls one of my best friendships, forging a stable co-parenting arrangement. But from scandal-driven sports headlines to staggering billionaire settlements, Tiger's $100 million payout pales next to the next story. A Russian oligarch ordered to pay $4.5 billion before it mysteriously shrank to $604 million. Dmitry Rybolovlev, $4.5 billion to $604 million. In 2014, a Geneva court rocked headlines by ordering Russian billionaire Dmitry Rybolovlev, famous for owning AS Monaco Football Club and a globe-spanning art collection, to pay his ex-wife Elena $4.5 billion, one of the largest divorce awards in history. But Dmitry didn't stay down for long. He appealed, and in 2015 that massive sum was slashed to $604 million. Why? Offshore trusts. By moving huge portions of his fortune into discrete jurisdictions like Cyprus, Dmitry shielded palatial estates, private jets, and his jaw-dropping art holdings, including the $450 million Da Vinci painting Salvator Mundi he later sold. From the marital pot. Ultimately, the two reached a sealed private settlement, leaving the true payout a mystery. But one thing was clear. This case became a blueprint for how billionaires insulate their wealth during high-stakes divorces. If secret trusts and slashed billions sound extreme, wait for what comes next. A royal scandal involving abductions, Pegasus spyware, and the UK's largest divorce settlement ever. $730 million between Princess Haya and Dubai's Sheikh Mohammed. Princess Haya and Sheikh Mohammed, $730 million. In 2019, Princess Haya, daughter of Jordan's late King Hussein, fled Dubai to London with her 2 children, alleging she feared for her life. What followed was one of the most explosive divorces ever seen in Britain. In 2021, the UK High Court ordered Dubai's ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, to pay a record-breaking $730 million, the largest divorce settlement in British history. It wasn't just about money. The judgment included $333 million lump sum to secure Haya's future, $15 million annually for 24/7 security, armored vehicles, and bodyguards, necessitated by credible threats from Sheikh Mohammed, a $290 million HSBC bank guarantee to cover long-term child support and safety needs. The court also heard bombshell evidence, Pegasus spyware hacks traced directly to the Sheikh, plus documented intimidation, including the alleged abduction of his adult daughters in prior scandals. This wasn't just a divorce, it became a global headline on power, control, and modern monarchy colliding with the law. And if royals paying $730 million sounds staggering, wait until you hear how Mel Gibson's $425 million split handed over half his fortune, plus lifetime film royalties. Mel Gibson and Robin Moore, $425 million. Mel Gibson's 2011 divorce from Robin Moore remains Hollywood's most expensive split, a staggering $425 million payout. Why so high? No prenup. They married in 1980, long before Gibson's fame exploded. California's community property law. Everything earned during their 31-year marriage had to be split equally. Robin didn't just receive cash. She secured half of Gibson's film residuals, meaning she still collects from classics like Braveheart, Lethal Weapon, and The Passion of the Christ, which alone grossed over $600 million. She also gained prime Malibu estates and a share of Gibson's vast real estate holdings, including his private Fijian island. At the time, the $425 million payout equaled roughly half of Gibson's $850 million net worth. This was more than a divorce. It was a financial dismantling of one of Hollywood's biggest fortunes. Even today, Robin's income streams remain tied to Gibson's box office legacy, making her settlement one of the most lucrative ever granted to a celebrity spouse. If half of Gibson's fortune sounds jaw-dropping, wait until you see what happened when Michael Jordan's $168 million split rewrote the playbook for athlete divorces. Michael Jordan and Juanita Vinoy, $168 million. In 2006, Michael Jordan's divorce from Juanita Vinoy cost him a staggering $168 million, one of the largest settlements in sports history. The couple married in 1989, well before Jordan became a global icon and billionaire. With no prenup in place, Illinois law dictated an equitable division of marital property, turning their $350 million estate into open season. Juanita walked away not just with the payout, but also full ownership of their 7-acre Chicago mansion, plus custody of their 3 children. Her settlement included access to Jordan's real estate portfolio, luxury assets, and ongoing financial security tied to his massive earnings. At the time, the split was record-breaking, instantly redefining how athlete divorces were viewed legally and financially. For Juanita, it was life-changing. She shifted to a quieter life, investing in real estate and philanthropy, while maintaining a net worth that still hovers near $200 million today. For Jordan, it was a financial wake-up call. When he remarried in 2013, he signed a strict prenuptial agreement with Yvette Prieto, reportedly protecting over $650 million of his assets. And if Jordan's $168 million hit sounds massive, wait until you hear about Steven Spielberg's $100 million napkin prenup fail. Yes, it was written on a bar napkin. Spielberg and Amy Irving, $100 million napkin prenup fail. Steven Spielberg's divorce from actress Amy Irving became infamous, not just for its $100 million payout, but for one of Hollywood's most legendary legal blunders, a prenup scribbled on a bar napkin. Here's what happened. Before marrying in 1985, Spielberg and Irving agreed to a prenup he hastily wrote on a napkin. No lawyers, no witnesses, no formal filing. When they divorced in 1989, Amy's legal team challenged it, and the judge practically laughed it out of court. Under California's community property law, Irving was entitled to half of Spielberg's wealth earned during their 4-year marriage, resulting in the $100 million judgment. For Amy, it was transformative. She continued acting, raising their son Max, and secured her financial independence. For Spielberg, it was a wake-up call. His future prenups became airtight, drafted with the best lawyers money could buy. This case is still taught in law schools as the ultimate cautionary tale about informal agreements in high-stakes marriages. And if a napkin cost Spielberg $100 million, Neil Diamond's split cost him $150 million, yet he famously said his ex-wife was worth every penny. Neil Diamond and Marcia Murphy, $150 million. Neil Diamond's divorce from Marcia Murphy wasn't just expensive, it was iconic for his reaction. After 25 years of marriage, Marcia walked away with $150 million, roughly half of Neil's fortune. His response? She's worth every penny. The couple married in 1969 during the early days of Neil's career, and Marcia was by his side as he skyrocketed to superstardom. Hits like Sweet Caroline and America, platinum-selling albums, and sold-out world tours. By the mid-1990s, Diamond's estimated net worth hovered around $300 million, making their settlement one of the largest celebrity divorces of its time. Marsha's payout included prime real estate and a massive cash settlement, but unlike many high-profile splits, their divorce remained remarkably civil. Neil even publicly credited her for supporting him during the peak of his fame, reinforcing why he made his worth every penny remark that tabloids turned into headlines. This split became a benchmark for 90s celebrity divorces, long marriage, massive payout, and a rare show of public grace. The billion-dollar question: $76 billion for Gates, $38 billion for Bezos, $730 million for a fleeing princess. These aren't just divorces, they're financial earthquakes that shake empires. And here's the question: in a world where love costs billions, are these settlements justice, or proof that billionaire marriages are the riskiest investments on earth?